Namaste everyone. In today's video, we're going to focus on Muni Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 3.42. Now in this particular Yoga Sutra, Muni Patanjali is explaining to us how exactly a yoga sadhak can develop the ability to fly or manipulate the space that they're in to go from one place to the other really quickly. Very similar to teleportation, I think, but let's start understanding how this works, what this Vibhuti is all about, and what Muni Patanjali is trying to communicate through this. So let's dive right into the sutra, start breaking it up step by step and understanding it a little bit further. So the sutra itself goes, Kaya kasha yoho sambandha sanyamal laghutula samapatteshchakasha gamanam. Alright, so this is the sutra itself. Now let's start breaking it up step by step to understand it a little bit better. So the first word over here is kaya. Now kaya or kaya is the body, which directly refers to our physical self or the body. The next word here is akasha, and akasha of course refers to space and the space in which our bodies are contained. The next word here is sambandha, once again indicating relationship or the relation between. And then the next word is sanyam. Now sanyam refers to dharana, dhyan and samadhi. So this dharana, dhyan and samadhi together is known as sanyam. The next word over here is laghu. Laghu refers to something that is really light, really small, really light in weight. The next word is tula, and tula refers to a tuft of cotton. So really small, really tiny tuft of cotton. And the next word here is samapatti. Samapatti is something that we had learned much earlier. It's a type of concentration within the practices of dharana, dhyan, samadhi that we studied in chapter 1. So that is samapatti. And then we come to cha, which means and. Then we come to akasha, which means space once again. And the final word here, which is gamanam or gaman, which means movement, traveling or flying. Alright, now let's understand what is the sutra trying to tell us. Alright, so very important to understand this. The sutra is saying that if we do sanyam on the relationship, okay, between the body and the space that the body is present in, right? Because due to the presence of space, our body can be present in it. We are held in the presence of space. So if we concentrate on that relationship, what is being said is we then develop the ability to become as light as possible, similar to a tuft of cotton, where then we're able to transport, move, travel or fly from one place to another simply by manipulating the space that we are in. Alright, so that is the short meaning of this particular sutra, but let's get into it a little more deeply and start understanding what it stands for. Alright, so this again might sound like it's from an X-Men film, Harry Potter film. It's pretty cool how a lot of these films that we call fantasy and sci-fi today have so many incredible powers that are mentioned in a book that was written thousands of years ago. And like I always say, the science fiction movies are kind of always either pointing to the past or the future in some or the other way. So those movies that we're seeing today could be representations of a long gone past, and some of the movies that we watch today could be representations of the future, especially with respect to technology. So really incredible stuff. But let's take a look at what this sutra is saying and start understanding it a bit better. So essentially it's saying that once the yoga sadhak has understood the relationship between how his or her body exists in space and what is the quality and the essence of akash or space itself, then that yoga sadhak can actually manipulate or with respect to the space around the body, he or she can teleport or move from one place to another. Now, this may be very, very difficult to comprehend because we've not even seen something like that happen before in real life. But there are a lot of cases and reports of not just Indian yogis or saints, but across the globe, people who have been present in one place at a moment, and then in the next moment or in another moment, in a faraway place. And people in both the places have seen them, and it's like, how is this possible? Right? It's so similar to the concept of video calls. This person is sitting miles away. How am I seeing this person on my screen? But we understand it's the norm for us because we're all used to it. It's technology, gadgets, yeah, everybody video calls all the time. So it's not abnormal to us. But if you really think about it, what we're saying is somebody literally thousands of miles away is connecting with us visually on a screen, just like that, through technology. It's incredible what the power of this is able to do. But in the same way, we can potentially imagine and understand what is being spoken about in this sutra when we say that somebody physically present in one place moves over to another place, not because of an instrument, but because of their control over their own bodies and the understanding of the space around them. Now, the reason this is really difficult to understand is because in our daily lives, we're used to controlling objects. We're used to controlling the external. So we've kind of lost touch with how to control the internal. And so anything like this, which is directly talking about the internal world, is too difficult for us to imagine because we can't fathom that. But the external world, which is, in my opinion, a little more challenging because it's outside of us, we've started to master that. We know how to do things through objects, tools, technology, but our own body systems and our own processes still remain quite the mystery for most of us, and it's still not as easy to understand as studying external subjects and machines, right? Because at the end of the day, our body is a machine too, in a way, but we just don't know it well enough to do these kind of things or facilitate these kind of practices with it. So anyway, coming back to the sutra, this is what it's trying to communicate, this ability for yogis to kind of move from one place to another. Now, very interestingly, what is being mentioned here is the cotton and the samapatti that needs to be done on the cotton. Why is this important? Is because usually sometimes we might have some reservations, right? Because we think my body is really heavy, it's dense. And it's more dense than air. So how is it going to fly or teleport? But what's really interesting here is that when we concentrate on cotton, we realize that cotton is also denser than air in most cases. But yet it develops a sense of lightness because of the air that's trapped within its pockets. And that lightness gives it the ability to float through air or, take its time on its way down. So this is really interesting because by focusing on that cotton, we can tell our minds that, hey, look, this is possible. Do not reject the option of this happening. So by concentrating on cotton and understanding how cotton does it, we kind of take inspiration and say, I'm going to do it as well, So it's really that where you kind of understand cotton, do samapatti on it to such a deep extent, and not a lot of cotton, just a tuft of cotton. You understand it so well that you kind of say, okay, I'm super inspired. I think this is possible and I'm going to work towards it myself. So that is essentially what this sutra is all about. It's explaining the concept of how this whole thing plays out. So I hope you found this video helpful and useful. I know, again, some of these things far-fetched, difficult to comprehend, but let us keep an open mind. Let us deep dive into the sutras, try to understand them a bit further, step by step, and try not to get bogged down with things that our mind can't comprehend right now or as yet. Alright, so that is this Sutra 3.42. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, Please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, leave your comments in the comment section below, and also please do subscribe to our channel to support the channel as we release new videos every single week. And if you're new here, please also don't forget to share this video with your friends and family, especially those studying yoga or yoga philosophy. Now, we look forward to seeing you in the next video or in an upcoming class or workshop, the links to which are in the description, and we cannot wait to see you in the next one. Until then, take care, keep practicing, and we're going to see you very soon. Namaste.